Hello and welcome back to this channel. Today's going to be a very fun video because today's going to be another informational plant tour. There is a lot of stuff to talk about in today's video, so before we do go ahead and start today's video, please subscribe, hit the notification on all so you not miss every video. Please like this video. Let's go ahead and start today's video. So first thing is, and if you guys don't want to hear about fish tank stuff, you can skip ahead about 3 minutes, but just going straight into the fish tank. All the fish are thriving. The ecosystem's completely done. So I'm kind of moving stuff back and forth from that. So the store had no snails whatsoever. So, well, there was no snails that could lay eggs. That's kind of what I'm saying. So the thing that I'm thinking is I'd much rather have snails lay eggs in the ecosystem than in this fish tank, because I don't want those fish eggs to be sucked up into the system, into the biofilter, and then throughout this, because that is the last thing I want. So, looking through, nothing insane happening. All the fish are thriving. You can check that out. I really do need to clean the rocks very soon, though. But it looks like the snails are, yeah. So I'm tempted to switch out the snail that I've already put in the ecosystem with those two and put those in the ecosystem and have these. Yeah, so I'm thinking I might raise those little snails that those produce in the ecosystem, and then I might move those over to this later on, but we'll see what happens. I'll probably just let those snails just enjoy life in here for like another 24 hours, and then I'll move them over to the other fish tank, because the last thing I really want is to shock the snails. Kind of what I mean by that is because they're thriving in here already, and I don't want to go ahead and pick them up right now and then put them in the ecosystem where they don't feel comfortable yet and just kind of scare them a little bit. So that's one big thing. So I'm going to let those snails enjoy life for a little bit longer, and then I'll move them over, and I'll probably just move them over later tonight. But talking about plants now, all of these are really starting to thrive and do really, really well. So starting with the basil's doing all right. I have noticed some algae starting to form a lot quicker than the first time I did do the system. Now, obviously the system has really settled down a lot more. It is a lot more just ready for whatever it's ready for. And looking at all the plants look like, well, I will say the roots 4 days ago did not look good at all. It looked like a lot of the plants weren't going to make it, especially these. And it looks like some of the roots have recovered pretty well, actually pretty significantly well. One of the ones that took the hardest was the cilantro. And actually, the roots look significantly better than they did a few days ago. Significantly better. Wow. Okay, well, that is insanely exciting. Now, parsley also looked pretty bad. Oh, wow. Check out the root structure. So the last time I looked at it, it was right there, and now it's grown that much. So that is awesome. Looking at a lot of other of these, that one doesn't have many roots. Definitely algae starting to form, so that's not great. But at the end of the day, what is a little bit of algae going to do? That has had a little bit more problems with that one, but same with that. It's interesting because I kind of feel like all of the ones, yeah, same with that. Okay, well, that is interesting. So let's check these out a little bit. Okay, that looks good. Entrance, maybe? That looks pretty good. That looks pretty good. Maybe it's just parsley. Because I will say my parsley did not that great in the beginning when it was down here. And then once the root structure started to form really well, it, like, was insane to see it grow up because it grew so quickly. Oak leaf looking really well. Root structures doing really, really well. Same thing with buttercrunch. Buttercrunch is starting to do pretty good. Grand lettuce. Looks like it's had a little bit of some problems there. Not really root rot. Definitely not root rot, but that looks more like just too much nutrients, and it's kind of just being burnt from the nutrients, which is interesting. If it is that, you know what? Let's check these. So we got salad bowl, though that looks insanely well. That looks pretty good. Gourmet mixture, that looks incredible. Let's check some of these other ones. That looks pretty good. Other than that, I really do feel like all of them are looking really, really well. Red Ruby is one of my #1 growers. That's doing really well. And then Tango does insanely well too. And then that's that. So pretty much, so here's kind of how I see it. Herbs are on the top. And then my top lettuce and greens crops are on the second row. And then testing is on the very bottom. So I'll be doing a lot of work with that. And I really do want to eventually add a lot more to the system, hopefully. But for now, I'm going to let those grow. And then once I do my first harvest, I'll slowly start to incorporate a lot of new plants. So I'm very, very excited about that. Now, I will say this morning, I did a huge video of doing a maintenance video. If you guys do go ahead and check that video out, I'd really love it if you would. It's already out on the channel. But I will say, going through all of these plants, I was kind of feeling around in the soil. I kind of dug a little hole or lifted the plant up, and I really do feel like some of the plants that are doing the worst, or possibly might be showing signs of doing really bad soon, have and feel like the roots are pretty much cramming it. So I will say, just kind of talking about that, some of them I really noticed is oregano. That method of growing peas and the tomatoes feel really, really like that too. So I will say that just tends to happen a lot. I found a lot of problems with just overgrowth with roots and just absolutely filling up the pot. So that also forms a lot of problems. Once the roots don't have enough space to really thrive, they kind of start killing off each other. So now you have a plant dead over here, you have a plant dead over here, and then there's that one giant plant that's thriving the best, and that's just wiping out the rest of the entire plant. So that used to do really good, and just all sorts of stuff there. So that's oregano. Those are doing really well. Then we have mustard. That's doing a lot better than I ever thought it would do. Then the dill looks really cool, and I really feel like it's starting to look like cosmos, which are really, really cool flowers I do really love to work with. Going to this shelf, there's a lot of amazing stuff happening here. We have a lot of growth on strawberries, and I do feel like the lettuce is a little bit slower than I thought it would be. That might be just the fact that I might be overwatering by a little bit, but we'll see how that does. Then we have my fancy variety of strawberries. I ended up getting that and these, about 100 seeds from True Leaf, and the variety that is growing the best over there, which is everything on the right side, all of those were from True Leaf, and I really do see a lot of fun things I could do with those plants, and I really do want to start selling strawberries maybe in a year or two, and growing those in like hydroponics or aquaponics. Probably will be aquaponics, looking at how stuff is doing right now. Then we have strawberries and blueberries. Strawberries, great news, because I honestly don't know if I'll be able to show you because the plastic is not kind of clearing up, but this one right here has signs of germination, and that one back there has signs of germination. I actually talked about it in our video earlier, so if you guys do want to check that video out, you can see that firsthand in that video. Then this, I kind of feel like it just needed water, and it just had no water, so the plants were kind of like dying a little bit. So I just watered them probably way too much. They're overflowing a little bit, but that'll evaporate pretty quick, especially with how much air movement. And to be honest, in the last few minutes, the air has gone down. Well, the air humidity has gone up about 4%, so that's amazing. So yeah, going over here, I really want to show you guys this example. You know what? Let's talk about the flowers. We are growing poppy seeds and cosmos, so those are very exciting. If you guys saw our video we posted quite some time ago, we actually went ahead and started cutting down our bunching onions because they were really growing long. So I ended up cutting them right here. And you can see how much they've really grown since I cut them about a week and a half ago. Same with this. I ended up cutting it from there. So I might cut them again later on to really let them grow out their base a little bit more. But other than that, they're doing very, very well. Rosemary, they're doing really, really well too, to be honest. I'm talking about growing rosemary outside. And to be honest, I should probably go ahead and start germinating even more plants. So stuff can do very, very well this upcoming season. Then what I like to call the finale shelf, but it's more of the middle type of shelf. So there's a lot going on here. We have celery, daisies, we have basil, cilantro, oregano, and parsley. All of those are doing insanely well. Very, very excited about that. The strawberries are finally starting to recover pretty well, and actually a lot better than I thought they would. So that is insanely exciting. Then with the hydroponics version of growing strawberries and tomatoes, the strawberries are still slowly growing, but the tomatoes are doing very, very well. Check out that root structure. That's absolutely incredible. I did overfill these pots a little bit, so I need to be a little bit careful when putting the pot back in, but that's doing pretty well. I was actually talking in the video also this morning about these. So this is more of the bunched up method of growing sugar peas, and I really do feel like these are doing really well. And I was actually talking about, so these ones kind of spread apart. The roots in here are really starting to kind of kill the plants, and you can notice all the leaves on there are starting to die out. I'm going to let it keep growing. Same thing with the tomatoes. The tomatoes are really, really crammed with roots, but I'm going to let them grow, see if they can actually start to produce fruit. If they do, then that'll be insanely awesome. But if they don't, then we still got a great season coming up. I do feel like out of all the potential of stuff growing and germinating, it is that plant. There's a ton of space for those plants to thrive in that. I think I covered pretty much everything for this area. And other than that, I actually took a pause in the middle of filming this after the aquaponics, and I was talking about moving the snails over. The snails actually, well, I left the room for about 10 minutes to do some other work, and then I came back in, and the snails kind of just went with their usual day and still slowly started to go away. There's one snail right there and another one was right there. So I ended up picking both of them up, and now both of them are in the ecosystem. And the one snail that was in the ecosystem is at the bottom, and it's starting to say hello to the home once again. I do feel like it's going to be pretty excited to be back in its main tank. And yeah, so I've had a lot of people ask about the fish tanks now. Since I have two now, which one is my main one? And which one will be the most important? Obviously, it's going to be the aquaponics. This is the most crucial to the greenhouse and all of that. The ecosystem build is more of a to really learn a lot more about aquatic life and really work with different types of fish, guppies, even more goldfish, possibly beta, so many different types of fish I do really want to check out. So with that, yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and end today's video. So before we do go ahead and end today's video, so if you guys like these types of videos, please subscribe, hit the bell notification on all so you not miss every video, and please like this video. If you guys do want to go ahead and check out our aquaponics series, or just our building series in general, I'm going to try to promote that a lot more, especially with the new video about to come out. I will say this upcoming ecosystem build has costed a lot more than I originally expected, and it has been a huge, amazing, incredible journey that I'm very, very excited to share with you guys in a brand new editing way that I've never posted on this channel. Most of that video will be a voiceover where I talk in the background, and it's just really, really just, you guys will be very surprised with the things I'm being able to edit in this video. So if you guys do want to check out that video, please do, and I will do a lot of shorts when it does come out. So if you guys do happen to miss the video, hopefully you'll be able to see the shorts, and then you'll be able to click on that video. So this is going to be the end of the video. Thank you all so much for watching today's video and supporting the channel. If you guys made it all the way through to this exact point in the video, please comment the word greenhouse, and I will know you guys stayed to the very end. And thank you all so much for watching today's video. I'll see you guys tomorrow when we post next. Peace.